welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? So this is going to be a video, and it's most likely going to be a voiceover. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an intro. I look rough right now. I just washed my face, fixed up my brows because I did errands this morning, and I really want to film a tutorial. I have no clue what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go with the flow, which is why I'm going to do a voiceover. I just wanted to let you guys know if it looks like I don't really know where I'm heading, because I don't really know where I'm heading, but I hope you guys like it and stay tuned, and yeah, let's get started. Alright guys, so we're gonna get started here. I'm just being weird and getting closer to the camera. I was instantly gonna grab my Too Faced concealer so I can start to carve my brows, and you're gonna see I get real close in like a second, and then I'm like, hold up a second. See, hold up. I always prime my eyes first, and I just use my regular face primer. That's the hard candy one, and I go on my lid and a little bit under because I know I'm bringing the shadow down. Yeah, and then we're going in. I'm taking like a small shader brush. It's a synthetic brush, and I just line under the brows first, and then I make it a little thicker because I know I'm going to blend it all over the lid, and you guys will see that soon. But I kind of take my time. This is sped up, but I go slow. Then we're doing the other brow. My brows are already filled in. If you want a tutorial on how I fill in my brows, let me know. I don't know. I feel like brows are one of those things, like, it's like super personal. I don't know if we're there yet, but let me know. And now I'm just taking a dual fiber blending brush. All my brushes, majority of them, are from random sets that I get online, and I love them all. So if you want a video on my favorite brushes, let me know that too. So I'm just adding a little bit extra on the lid and blending that out as well. So my entire lid from brow bone to lid is primed. And then I'm taking powder, and I was looking in my mirror and talking to the mirror instead of you guys, which is why I giggled. And I'm just taking the same brush and dusting that all over. Some people don't like to set their lids, but I do. And I wanted to play with color because I feel like you guys don't really see, at least on YouTube, like I could use some color, you know? So we're gonna just do that. I'm taking the Take Me to Brazil palette, and I'm mixing 2 of the lightest greens. You'll see I added in another color later on, but I was like, ooh, I love green. Didn't realize it till like after a while that I just posted a green tutorial, so I'll have that linked below, you know? Support your girl, because those views are lower than the other 2, but yeah, so I'm just taking that in. I can tell you that brush though, that is a Sephora Pro Crease brush, and this one is a NYX, I think it's number 11 or 17. It's one of their blending brushes. I got that free at iMats. It is my favorite. So now I'm just looking here, and this is one of those random brushes that I have. But what I like to do, because we're going to do a cut crease, I just like to build up the intensity of a color family. So right now I told you guys I'm doing green. I use the lightest green to get the color that I wanted for my transition. I'm starting to build into the crease. I'm taking the next darkest green, and we're just blending that in all throughout. I'm focusing it a little bit more at the crease this time because I like it to be a gradient, or I try to make it a gradient. And it's going in from corner to corner, like, you know, inner to outer corner. And I just always go back to my original brush to help me blur out those lines just a bit so it looks a little softer. And we're just building it up a little bit more. I try to speed it up and cut some out, and I'm like pausing the computer because I was watching Barbie Life in the Dream House, okay? Don't judge. But I tried to build up the color, and I'll take more time just adding color and blending it. I used to just put way too much, and it'd be like terrifying. So this brush, I believe that one's actually a Morphe blending brush. I think it's the M330, and I started to be like, you know what? The green is cute and all, but I gotta switch it up. So I used the teal in that palette, and that's, again, focused a little bit deeper into my crease. I'm making sure I bring it all the way out because I wasn't sure what shape I wanted to do. I wasn't too sure on that, so just doing it. You can see I got a little messy, but it all works out in the end. Everybody says it on YouTube. I'm really a YouTuber now, but it really does. So I'm going back into that second brush that I used with the deeper green, and I'm just softening up those lines again before I add in more color. Again, I used to just plop on color and be so frustrated that I couldn't blend it because I wasn't easing into it. So if there's any takeaway, it's just to ease into any color family that you're doing, whether you're doing browns or oranges or whatever. So blending that out. And I believe this is when I start to take the darkest color. Oh yeah, so that's so that is a elf crease brush. It's super tiny and detailed and I love it. So I'm getting this directly in my crease. I'm a little messy with it because, like I said, I am doing a cut crease, so I'm focusing it on the outer corner of my eye and also directly in my crease. That way when I cut the crease, you still see it peeking through. But I always love to, I did a half cut crease and you'll see that. So I wanted the outer corner to be the blue. So I just put that there. I'm going to add in another color later on, but you know, I was playing around, seeing how I liked it. Then I was starting to feel it, so I did my little dance. And I'm taking right now is, this is the bhcosmetics Total Coverage Studio Pro Concealer. That is a long ass name, but I'm taking another brush similar to the one that I used to to clean up under my brows. And I just kind of traced my eyelid. I have big eyes, so I'm able to be, just kind of go in there and not really worry too much. And I feel like as far as like intricate eyeshadow looks go, I'm pretty comfortable with doing any sort of cut crease at this point. So I'm making sure I get really careful at the inner corner, kind of tracing it. You'll see I'm still letting some of that blue and those greens show through. I didn't bring it all the way over to the end of the lid. So I kind of keep looking down. You can see I'm not trying to move my face too much. I have a fluffy shader brush and I'm just packing on translucent powder because I don't want that to move, especially with that concealer. It's pretty tacky. And then I'm just dusting away the extra powder because I did not want my eyes to tear. So now we're doing the same thing. I'm getting a little bit of concealer. With this particular concealer, a little goes a long way. It's super pigmented. So I do a little bit and you can see I kind of stop and stare. Before I continue the half cut crease, I want to make sure that the inner corner is looking good, that they look even at this point. And then I just kind of dust it out a little bit to kind of fade it. There is going to be another color because you can see baby girl is looking harsh right there. And we don't do that. So I'm setting that again. I want to make sure again that those don't move. And then I'm going in with that small crease brush again from e.l.f. and I'm just blending in that darker color. But then you can see I'm like, it's a no. We gotta do something else. And I am, oh my god, I look stuck on stupid. I'm taking more of that dark blue and trying to make it work, but I just don't know when it's coming up. You'll see I just give up. I get a different brush and I go in with the lighter blue. Yep, see? I was over it. And that's a bright blue. I've never used that blue in this palette before, but I was here for it. So I just put that a little bit overlapping the dark blue, a little bit on the nude. I decided to keep the inner third of the lid light. So I just put that there, packing it on, trying to brush it into the darker blue so that way it looks like a gradient. And I just kind of run my brush side to side. I try not to bring it all the way in again, and I feel like that kind of gave me a pretty good blend. So now I'm looking around. I really wasn't sure what I was doing. It looks like I know. I really don't. I'm talking to myself, not knowing I was going to do a voiceover. But then I found it. So this powder actually is a face powder. It's Jordana's, I think it's their Flawless Forever powder. I love those powders so much. I used to have them in almost every shade. I'm just taking a shader brush and I'm packing that on in the inner corner and a little bit under the brow bone just to kind of give me that highlight look. And then I'm going in with that fluffy NYX brush again, to blend that out. And you can see I just kind of keep going back and forth. I know there's people who shadows shit on my looks and I'm totally aware of that, but excuse me, I had a hiccup. I'm totally aware of that, but I feel like I've gotten so much better over the past year, and that's one of the things I do is just go back and forth. I'm pretty sure in this palette I took Blam. I'm pretty sure that's like the lightest color, and I just put that in the inner corner. This is a tiny e.l.f. Shadow C brush that I got with the palette, and I'm putting it in the inner corner. I wasn't sure if I was gonna sometimes I trace it over into the white. I was like, I don't feel like doing all that. So I just put it there, and then again under the brow bone, which I've slowly been liking highlight on the brow bone again. I used to hate it, but I'm here for it. Okay, so I got a wipe. I just wanted to kind of clean up. I don't really think I got much fallout, but the wipe kind of helps me fix the shape. So I get that. This is the NYC liquid liner. Again, I went ham when they said it was going to be discontinued. I could not live without it. So I just take a mirror, I go up close, and I just line my lids. Usually I kind of do like a half wing because, like I said, my eyes tear a lot. But I went balls to the wall today. I did the whole shebang, and I was feeling it. And I like a pretty dramatic wing. I haven't done a wing in so long. I don't know why, but we did it today, and I'm here for it. So, yeah, I'm just doing both my eyes. I take my time with it, but if I can just give you guys a quick little tip, I always start in the middle of my eyes, I do the wing, and then I bring it down into the inner corner. So middle, outer, inner. And sometimes they come out really perfect. Again, I haven't done it in a long time, so I had to kind of go over it and tweak it, but it worked out in the end. I'm gonna laugh every time I say that, but it did, like, it really did. So this is the Kiko mascara. I believe this came out with their Free Soul collection. I really like their mascaras. So I'm just putting on a quick coat of this because I'm about to prep my eyes for lashes. And I'll just tell you really quick, I'm using Kiss lashes in the style Pageboy. So I don't know why I kept this clip so long, but I'm just putting that on, added glue, letting it get a little tacky, and I'm just sticking that bad boy on. I cut some of this out because your girl has a false lash tutorial already up, so I'll link that down below as well. Get your life. But I really did like these lashes. And then I'm going again in with the hard candy primer. So this you would have seen in the last video as well. So this is just like my face routine, so we'll get into that. Primer is on, and I am setting the primer. This day, anytime I'm using translucent powder, I actually use, I think it was the LA Girl banana powder, but I added in the jcat Beauty later on because I was like, look at me. I was like, whoa, because it looks like whoa there. But yeah, so I'm going in with the Maybelline foundation, and I was like, I don't want to use a brush, so I used one of these oval brushes again. Got it on Amazon in a set for like $5, but yeah, I feel like a lot of times people feel like they have to overspend on brushes, and I have a lot of brushes that I have a few brushes that I spent more on, but I still use all the other ones just as much. But I used to use this all the time, and I feel like it gives you a nice, good coverage, but I wasn't feeling it. Like, you still see some of my dark spots peeking through, and that foundation is super full coverage. So I was just like over it, you see? Yeah, I got out my trusty beauty blender. It doesn't fail me, okay? And I always get the black one. It's the only one that is stain resistant. Like, it helps you. It's formulated to not keep stains, and like those dirty pink ones, I cringe. So I'm just putting that all over, and I'm using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I believe I have the shade Golden, but you guys know I'm going to write down all the products below for you. And I'm just highlighting my face and blending that out again with my sponge. Yeah, I feel like this part's kind of like before. It looks like I am slapping the shit out of my forehead, but I'm not. I'm being gentle. And we're just going to set that again with the powder. I will say, though, I was a little nervous whenever you use a different powder, you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to give me flashback. You'll see I set a lot, and it did not give me flashback whatsoever. So right now I'm taking an angled concealer brush, and that cream that you see me using is the Ruby Kisses 3D Artist Contour Palette in light medium. I'm taking, I think, the second to darkest shade in there, and that's just me contouring my nose, or attempting to. I don't know. I think my nose is cute. I just like to give it a little bit of shape. And if you guys watch Makeup Freak, I saw her do her nose contour similar to that, so I was loving it. So I didn't want to keep using the same stuff, so I'm using the 3D Artist palette again instead of the Too Faced one. And this is how I normally do my concealer if it's not with that crazy full coverage one. So I'm taking the light medium one, and I'm sorry the lighting switched up a little bit here. I hope you don't hear that car outside. So yeah, I take just a concealer brush and I go ham, okay? I like coverage, YOLO. So I just put a lot, not a lot, but I put one concealer under first. I always would mix my cream and my liquid concealers. So the cream is on, and then I'm going back in with that Maybelline one, the Instant Age Rewind in Golden, and I just blend that over. And then I'm like, yeah, because once you start to, I look crazy. See, I said I look crazy. But once I put on my concealer, I feel like, okay, we're close to the finish line. And I just let it wait a little bit. I like to let that concealer set. I feel like it gives me a little bit fuller coverage because I'm not instantly letting the sponge soak up all of the product. I just added a little bit mascara on those fake lashes. I didn't need it, but I'm just extra and I had time to kill. And then we're blending it out. So you can see I kind of start to focus in the inner corner and then I blend it going outward. Inner corner, blend it going outward. And I try to, you will have seen, I try to place the concealer around the contour shade because it kind of helps it just do the work for you. And I almost dropped my sponge there. I'm a clumsy person. You will see that moving forward in all these videos, but yeah. So I blended it out and then I just used the butt of the sponge to blend out the line between the concealer and like my cheek because I didn't want it harsh. And now we were setting it with those two powders. Actually, I think it's just the first one. I'm going to add in the banana soon. And then we are going right now. This is my favorite powder. This is the Ruby Kisses Mineral Press Powder. I feel like this powder can just kind of save you when you don't know you need saving. It just kind of smooths everything out. I feel like it blurs lines and it's really nice, flawless, full coverage. Make sure you blend it well into your skin. If you don't, you can get flashback. But if you blend everything well enough, you're fine. I think that's just what I've learned, to be honest. Like, I feel like my blending's gotten a little bit better because sometimes I would get flashback with like go-to products. And I'm like, what the hell? Just gotta blend a little bit more. And now you see I was like, yeah, for the baking, no. I needed some more yellow. I wanted that bright yellow under eye. So I'm just going to bake. Again, you see that I've traced it around my contour. I go on the chin, on the forehead, and then underneath, you know, where I'm bronzing. And then this is the Morphe palette. So if you saw me on Instagram complaining that it came broken, I got my new one and I'm using a Morphe brush. I forget the name of it, but it's like a flat but kind of tapered brush. I love it for bronzer. And I'm just putting that on my cheeks. You saw me put it on my forehead, all around. I believe I'm using the shades Fabulous and Debutante. And then I'm starting to blend out some of that bake. So I'm going in with the Elf. Yeah, that's the Elf stippling brush. And I just kind of blend it away. I'm going over it a little bit. And then I'm taking, this is one of my favorite blushes. That's in the Juvia's Place Saharan blush palette in the shade Toby. Orange blush just gives me life, okay? I can live in orange blush. And then I just keep going back over with my bronzer brush just because sometimes it can be a little strong, you know? And I was about to dust away my bake, but I was like, hold up. We got to do that lower lash line. So I'm just taking the darker blue and I'm putting that all along the lower lash line. So yeah, there we go. And I'm just blending that out. And then I dropped my camera. So cool. I look crazy. My phone like popped out of my tripod. I'm covering my mouth because I started to line it. Okay. I finished up my eyes. I dusted away my powder and I highlighted. I'm just going to show you guys really quickly because I'm going to finish up my face. But the highlight I used, I actually got from my beauty supply store. It's by NK. It's called the NK Perfection Highlighter. I have it in the shade Inca. I'm just trying to open it so you guys can see. I look crazy. So that's that. And that's this glow all over the face. So I'm just going to finish up my lips and then I'll show you the ends. I'm sorry. I thought I was filming. We'll get these tutorials professional soon enough, but let's get on. Okay, and we're back. So that lip liner is MAC's Chestnut. It's become one of my favorites. And again, like I mentioned, the highlighter is from NK. It's in the shade Inca, and I am in love with it. But so I put the liner on, and then this is one of my go-to lip combos. So I put the liner on. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills Naked, and I just put a little bit, and you see I'm going to keep like blending it with my lips together, building it up, because I feel like it just looks so good, like mixed like that. I don't know. I'm obsessed with that color. I just bought it back up. And then this is the Alissa Ashley, I believe, an Elf combo gloss. I'm just putting that on. I'm still watching Barbie Life in the Dream House, okay? Don't judge. So I'm just putting that all over, blending it out, seeing how I like it. And I believe I got another gloss too. Yep, that's the Kiko 02 Hydra gloss. I just want it a little bit lighter in the center. And Here we go. Oh, I'm just spraying my face. Normally I would use like a real setting spray, but again, I was just taking photos and I wanted to make sure it went through, and I went over my highlight. And here's the finished look. I hope you guys loved it.